For the best value in domain names, look no further than Namecheap, where you could get domains for as low as $3.98. Plus, get 1 year of WhoIsGuard privacy protection for free. For more information, check out the affiliate link in the description area below. Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So some really super interesting news came out of the gaming world. It seems like some Nintendo Wii games are actually coming to the Nvidia Shield. But it's probably not what you think. So what Nvidia and Nintendo just did was they got into an agreement where some Nintendo Wii games, such as Super Mario Wii, Zelda, The Twilight Princess, and Punch-Out, is actually coming to the Nvidia Shield. And also later on, Super Mario Galaxy. And you're probably wondering why you didn't hear about this or it's not all over the news. Well, the main reason is because it's actually only going to be available for the Nvidia Shield in the Chinese market. Okay, and why this is kind of, in my opinion, pretty big is because Nintendo has been really, I would say, taking their time, or in some cases against releasing any of their Nintendo properties and IPs on the mobile device. And it was just recently that they released a Mario game on the iPhone devices just earlier this past year, and that is kind of like their first step into it. Nintendo really like to keep their properties to themselves, so obviously they've had their games on mobile devices for a long time. So why this is important is because they're taking another huge step, first with the Apple iOS devices and now with Nvidia Shield. And this isn't just some like mobile game. This is actually some of their really popular titles, and these are actually remastered Nintendo Wii titles where they're actually going to get a 1080p upgrade from the original, I guess, 480p and maybe 720p resolution before. And so if you didn't know about the hardware of the Nvidia Shield, they actually use the same Nvidia Tegra 1 processor that's actually running on the Nintendo Switch. So Nvidia makes the processor for both units. And so if this goes well, and I'm pretty sure it will, then Nintendo probably might consider offering other types of games on the Nvidia Shield. Since they do use practically the same exact hardware, it would not be hard at all for them to port over a Nintendo Switch game because it's the same exact CPU. I don't know if there's any difference between the Tegra X1 on the Nvidia Shield versus the Nintendo Switch. Now, one note is that these Nintendo Wii games that are going to be offered on the Shield are actually only going to be available, at least right now, on their Nvidia GeForce streaming service. So it's actually not going to be emulated on the device itself. So, I mean, technically, it is not physically running on machine through an emulator, but it kind of is through streaming. And so, anyways, I thought that was really interesting. Nintendo, they do things their way. They're very much like Apple in the sense that they really don't have to play well with others, and especially with a company like Nintendo that just had a history for so long. And say what you will about Nintendo, but one thing that you can say is that at least for their first party games, they are pretty much the masters of making games. Okay, they've had very few missteps, and even then nobody's really been able to replicate the type of quality and, most importantly, the fun factor and the iconic status of all the Nintendo games that a lot of people know and love around the world. And so hopefully we do get this service in other parts of the world. I don't think that's going to happen, but there's always that possibility because maybe Nintendo is just testing this out right now. And the fact that it's in China, that's a pretty big test because obviously China is the largest market in the world, and so their gaming market absolutely dwarfs the US market. Okay, so you can look that up, to see how many people are playing online games and so forth. It's pretty staggering. And so that's it for this bit of news. If you had any thoughts on Nintendo games being on the Shield, or maybe your thoughts on it being on other mobile platforms, be sure to leave it in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you could do that at Patreon youtube.com/Geek Outdoors. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com. And I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.